Please, whatever you do, don't become a ripe cantaloupe. What do I mean? I'll tell you in just a sec. Hey guys, Randy Gage here. I want to welcome you to another episode of the legendary, critically acclaimed, #1 rated in the Milky Way galaxy YouTube channel, Prosperity TV. And this week, I want to talk about the greatest gift you received from the force that created you. And it's a deep topic, but I don't want to get in all philosophical and esoteric. I want to talk about practical application, how you make this work in your life for health, happiness, and prosperity. It happens to me so often, it's mind-boggling. I'll be doing a podcast or a radio show as a guest, being interviewed. And then they always wait till the very end and they say, okay, Randy, we got 30 seconds left. What's the meaning of life? What's the single most important thing you would tell our listeners? And I've got 23 and a half seconds to talk about it. And same thing here. I get it's a YouTube show, and so nobody's expecting a 5-hour workshop. But I do want to summarize kind of what I think is really important about this greatest gift that you have. And I believe it's growth, or more specifically, your ability to grow. That's the greatest gift you have. And I think it's more powerful than health and happiness, even love, because if you accept this gift to grow, you can get all of those other things. Here's a very empowering thought for you. No human being has ever achieved a level of mastery in any endeavor that cannot be surpassed by another human. So whether we're talking about Puccini's operas, Shakespeare's plays, Michael Jordan or LeBron's basketball ability, your favorite, the most amazing writer, the most amazing poet, the most amazing mountain climber, the most amazing entrepreneur, whatever. No human being has ever achieved a level of mastery that cannot be surpassed at some point by another human. And that's what gets me excited. That's what gets me out of bed every morning. I believe this is the greatest gift we're born with, because and here's where the issue is, though, that I want you to really think about, is now what it comes down to is, will you accept the gift or will you reject the gift? Because there's 7 point whatever billion people on the earth, and 6 billion of them probably rejecting this right now because they're choosing to live in stasis. They're choosing to live in mediocrity. They're choosing not to be challenged, not to be threatened, not to grow. They're choosing to be comfortable. And if you saw last week, I wrote on the blog about being in comfort zones, and Paul wrote a comment asking about, yeah, but what does this mean, like practical application? I get that you should challenge yourself, but you shouldn't risk everything and lose everything. Can you be more specific? I don't know that I could be more specific, because everybody has their unique scenario, their different situation. But here's where I would come back to, is that the purpose of life is growth. I have some plants in my office here. Their purpose in life is to grow. I look outside, I see some, I'm in San Diego this week, I see some palm trees out there. Their purpose is to grow. Flowers, their purpose is to grow. And now, here's where I come on this, because there's so much content out there, motivational speakers and authors and trainers and life coaches and Instagram life coaches, and everybody's talking about you got to grind, you got to hustle, you got to get rich, you need to become the entrepreneur, become the CEO. Well, I don't know that that's true with everybody. And here's what So it doesn't mean you have to grind, hustle, work 24 hours a day, be a workaholic, eat shit for 25 years. No, I don't think so. There may be people that's appropriate, but what I think it does mean is that you grow. You are willing to grow. You've accepted growth as a philosophy and a lifestyle. So that might mean for you that you're studying chess or Go strategy. It might mean you're learning new languages. Maybe it just means you're increasing your faculties for empathy and love and acceptance. But what I believe is, because I've heard people say, well, if you're okay, if you just want to work your job 9 to 5 and you do 40 hours a week and then you're playing, video games all night and you're watching TV 5 hours a night and you're having a cookout every Saturday and you're hanging out at the pub with your friends and you're happy with that, then great. I don't buy that. I believe if you don't have some growth going on, you're like a ripe cantaloupe. So at that moment you say, okay, I've decided I'm happy to settle. I don't need to progress. I don't need to grow. I have everything that I want in life because I can play video games and watch TV and cook out and go bowling on Friday nights, and I don't need to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm happy with that. You're just like that cantaloupe. You're ripe at that moment, and you know what's going to happen? You're going to get overripe, and then you're going to start to decompose, and then you're going to be rancid, and then you're going to cease to exist. And I really believe when we don't choose to challenge ourselves, when we don't choose to grow, you either become an imbecile or you become you start moving backwards, you start decomposing, you die even though you haven't laid down yet. So it's all about, do you choose to grow? Because if you choose to grow, you choose a life of challenge, adventure, and progress. And that's a life of meaning. That's what, if we're going to say, well, what's the significance of all this? Where do I find my purpose? Where's the meaning? I believe as long as you will adopt this philosophy and this practice of growth, and like I say, it could be getting after it, working 20 hours a day, building a company that you want to take public and you become a billionaire, or it might be that you're just developing your interpersonal skills and of empathy and love and acceptance and whatever, but you're challenging yourself and you're growing. The meaning, the spirituality, the happiness, the prosperity, they will all be byproducts of that. What do you think? Agree, disagree? Let me know in your thoughts below. Go out there and have an amazing week. Peace. Hey, I hope you're also going to randygage.com. This show was actually inspired by a blog post I wrote last week. And I like to kind of interchange between the two. Sometimes I'll go a deeper dive on the blog. Sometimes we'll do a deeper dive on the show, because I know some of you are more into one or the other. But check it out if you haven't, randygage.com on the blog. Have an amazing week, guys.